everyone, today I'm going to show you how I fix my signatures into my book cover. You will need a ruler, a pen, some scissors, a bradawl or something really pointy like a pointy needle would do it, I think. And you will need a needle to sew your signatures into your spine of your book, and you will need something to sew to hold them in. I'm going to use this string. You can use embroidery floss, you can use waxed thread, as long as it's nice strong thread. I like this because it's strong and it'll go through okay. And you will need scissors to cut your thread once you've done it. So you don't have to be scientific about it, but this is how I do it. I'm not saying that this is the be all and end all of how to do it. You can see that I've got two elastic bands here. That's because I couldn't see the creases properly without them on, so I put them on so that I could use them to measure across. Now I have 4 signatures, and my book spine measures 2 inches. So I measured across, I measured 1/4 of an inch, half an inch, half an inch, half an inch, and that left 1/4 of an inch at the other side too. I did this 2 or 3 times, and then I joined the lines up like this to get these 4 lines. Now the next thing I need to do is make some points to cross from top to bottom. So if we measure from top to bottom, we are 9.75 inches. So halfway is roughly 5 1/4 inches. And I can draw across there with my ruler. And then we need it halfway between the top and the bottom. I'm only going to have 3 holes, 1, 2 and 3. So roughly halfway between here and here makes it just past the 2, so here. So measure that again, just past the 2. And then we can draw a line across here. And then the same at the bottom, roughly 2 inches from the bottom. There we go. So now these lines that we have drawn will make crosses. And let me just go and let this noisy girl out. So I'm going to now make my holes. So I need 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4 on each line. So everywhere the lines cross, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I need a hole. So I'm going to use my bradawl to make a hole. I'm the worst person in the world to use a bradawl. I've injured myself with one so many times. You could have something underneath this, like a sponge or something. So, and then 4. I can take the elastics off now, I don't need those anymore. So then onto the second line, 1. So 1 signature will go along each line, and each signature will have 3 holes in. You'll match them up. I'll show you how to do it. That's 3. Put my glasses on, I might be able to see better. This is the bradawl that came with my cam snap kit. Yes, I had a bradawl with my cam snap kit. Like I say, if you haven't got a bradawl, anything sharp that will go through, like some little scissors, the blade of the scissors would go through, wouldn't they? There we are. That's it. You can't See the holes are coming through the other side. You must make sure they go all the way through. So that's the spine ready. Now the next thing we need to do is get our signatures, make the holes in our signatures. So I'm going to fold them inside out like this, so that the crease is here. Then I'm going to line it up where I want it to fit into my cover, and I'm going to just mark on the spine here where those holes are on there. So I'm matching up these holes. I actually want that one to go there. I don't want to put that one in first, but that's fine. Those holes do match up. And we turn it back the other way like this, and then we can make our holes through here. This one's taking a bit more getting through. And I know the bottom one's going to take even more getting through because it has an extra thickness of card in there. There we go. So now we have all of our holes ready, but I don't want to put that one in first. I'm going to put that one in second. So I'll get one of the others so I can do it first. So again, fold it inside out. Line it up where you want it to fit in. I want mine to fit like this because that's a bit taller just there, look. Draw where you want your, I mean, you can make a template for this, but I find this is actually easier because you definitely know that you're making your hole in the right place. And turn it back the other way. I'm going to have to get my mat out, aren't I? So this is a mat that I have for felting. I can use that, can't I? It'll be a lot easier, so make sure that you've got it how you want it. Yep. Make sure you've got it the right way up as well. And then we can make our holes. So one in the middle just there. Oh, it is easier with the mat. One here, right on the crease of the paper we want it. And then the third one just here on the crease of the paper. Okay, so I'm going to put this one in first. We need to measure our whatever thread we're using. I use this because it does pretty much match the colour of the cover, and it will show on the outside here. I could have used red or black or green. So you need to measure it 3 times the length of your spine. 1, 2 and 3. Snip it off. You do need a fairly big hole in your needle to fit this through. This is, I think it's just called a ball of, I think it's just a ball of string. I think that's all it is. But I like it because it's strong. And then we go through the middle first. So get our signature ready that we're going to put in. This is the first one that I'm going to put in. So I'm going to put it on the first line this side. need to make sure it's the right way up, which it is. This is the top, this is the bottom. Do make sure you check. So I'm going to go through the middle hole first in my pages, and then through the middle hole of my spine. Pull it through, leave a little bit of string in the middle there so that you can tie it. Then we need to go through the top hole. You can go through the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. The top hole of the spine, and then the top hole of your pages. I never ever thought I would end up binding a book, and this is what you're doing, and it really isn't as difficult as you may imagine. So pull that through there. Then go all the way down to the bottom hole. Go through the bottom hole. Through the bottom hole of your cover. And then back up through the middle. I'm struggling a bit here because it's already got a piece of string through it, so that hole isn't as big. Here we go. So I've pulled it through. Then we pull it tight. Make sure it's nice and tight. I'm going to put this piece of thread underneath that one that goes from the top to the bottom. Make sure it's nice and tight on the outside there, nice and tight on the inside, and then we can tie a knot in it. So take your needle off, tie a knot. And then you can just cut off your extra bits. So that's one signature into our book. How easy was that? So now we'll go on to signature number 2, and I have made the holes for that one, haven't I? I'll tell you why I wanted to put this one next, because it's a smaller signature, it's shorter. You can see it's shorter than the others, just slightly. So I wanted it more in the middle of the book than on the edge. So that I've got it marked up and I've got the holes made. So again, get your thread, measure 3 lengths, 1, 2, 3, snip it off. Thread your needle. And again we go through the middle first, so from the inside of the book to the outside, and then through the middle of your, hold on, I've lost the hole, there we are. Pull that through. Then you can either go to the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go to the top, go through that hole, and then through the hole in your signature. Again, make sure you've got it the right way up. Just pull that a bit more, that's not quite enough thread. That's better. So then all the way down to the bottom, through the bottom hole of your signature, through the bottom hole of your cover, I mean, you may only want to put 2 signatures in your journal. You may want to put 5 signatures in your journal. But this is how I do it. And then back through the middle. Going to put that over there, so I've got one piece of string one side and one the other. Then make sure that it's tight again. Check the outside. Yep. And then we tie our knots. This is how I do it, left over right and then right over left. That's just how I do it. I'm not sure that's the way you should do it, but and then, okay, so we've tied our knot and now we snip the extra string off. And then we move on to our next signature. So get your signature, turn it inside out. This is just how I do it. You could do it from the other way if you want to. I just find it's easier to poke the holes this way, it goes through easier. Then we put it on the line. Get it where we want it to be, so I want mine to be, this again is a bit smaller than some of the other signatures, so I'm going to make sure that paper there's all in, and that one there, it's all in at the bottom. And then get my pen again and mark on the spine where I need to make my holes. Yeah, I think that's right. So one there, and one there. Turn it back the right way out. Get my very helpful mat and pierce the holes. So one there. There's that crease in the spine. There it is. One there. And one there. I mean, I know there are other ways of fixing your signatures into your book, and you could even, I think I've seen people gluing them in. This is the way I like to do it, because to me this is, you know, I know it's in there firmly. So again, measure your string, 1, 2 and 3. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the holes in my next signature. I've got more room to make them, I think, before I put the other signature in. So I'm going to bend it in half, fit it into the book how I want it, which is like that. And then I've got one there, one there. Hold on, I've gone wrong somewhere. I should have one here. Yeah, one there and one there. That's it. 1, 2 and 3. Yeah. Oh, got it. So I just wanted to make sure I'd got that done. And then back with the mat. that one's got all its holes in it, hasn't it? So on to this one. And then one, two, three. So this one next. Got my holes there, I've got my string ready. Thread my needle. So again, start with the middle hole, through the middle in your book. Make sure it's the right way up. So yeah, I'm the right way up. Through the cover, up to the top, through the cover, back through the signature, down to the bottom, through the book, through the cover, then back through the middle of your cover, back through your signature, one of my pieces of string is, that's it. Put one underneath the other side of there, pull them tight, and then tie them in a knot. Left over right, and thread my needle, and then right over left. Cut off your extra. So we've got 3 out of 4 of our signatures in. Isn't it exciting? We're making a book. I love it. So more of the string. One, two, three. Cut it off. And so to the last one, make sure you've got your signature nice and straight. Through the middle of the signature, through the middle of the cover, just put that there so it doesn't come through. Then up to the top, through the cover, through the signature, all the way down to the bottom, through the bottom, through the spine, back up to the middle, there we go. And then we go, make sure it's tight, check it's tight on the outside, yep, and then we go, take the needle off, we don't need that anymore, we're done with the needle. And then we go left over right, and then right over left. That's just how I do it. I don't know whether that's the right way to do it or not. Then snip it off. And there you are, you've bound a book. Take your paper clips out. And there you go. How good is that? Love it. So yes, that is the bookbinding part done. So we have a list of things a mile long to do to our journal now, if we want to. You don't have to do anything more than that. You could leave it like that and just use it like that, couldn't you? I've got a little pocket on the front here. Then I have my card cover of my first signature, journaling space, music paper, doily, journaling space, the envelope, which needs a little bit of tidying up there, but I shall trim it down there. Maybe I'll tape it shut and trim it down here so that I can put things in it. We have a piece of paper there. We have some flowers there, some flowers and butterfly paper, graph paper, another envelope there which I think I will trim across here, piece of card there to write on, paper, a little picture there of a little girl, look at that chocolate cake. Then we get to the middle of our signature and I've got the nice little nursery rhyme, I liked that. So that's the first signature. Then on the second signature we have a little pocket on the front of here. We have a flower page, a mushroom page, a music page, another little envelope there, another doily, lots of journaling space. And you don't have to do anything else with this if you didn't want to, but of course I can't just leave it like that. We have a card there, more journaling space. This is a little girl making some bread. Then we get to the middle of our signature and we have the nursery rhyme, which is the mulberry bush. Then we go on to signature number 3, which is this one. It's a little bit smaller, the card cover is, but I'm fine with that. What I will do is I'll stitch down here and that will make that a pocket. You could also staple it or use washi tape. Yeah, I'm going to stitch it on my sewing machine. We have a little doily, a little envelope, paper again, more paper. This is that lovely handmade paper, the flowers. Then we have that lovely maps, those lovely maps that I liked. Another piece from the pack and some, they're actually stuck together, and some graph paper. We have that bag from the pharmacist, the prescription bag. And then in the middle we have Daffy Down Dilly. And then on the back of that journal again, we have the same again. I'll stitch down there and that will make that a pocket. This one doesn't have a pocket in it either, but I could make a pocket in there. Then we've got the flowers, a doily, something from the kit, some musical paper, more from the kit, graph paper, more from the kit, an envelope which I need to open up. I could open it up across here or down here, or I could cut it diagonally, so that if I taped it down there, you'd be able to tuck inside the envelope and behind the envelope. Yeah, you could do that anyway. If I sewed that in down here and across there, you could tuck it inside the envelope and the back. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't decided yet. What's one of the fun things to do is to decide what you're going to do and to make it unique and make it your own. We've got a card here. We have some more of that. Look at those lovely cakes. Doesn't that look lovely? Makes me hungry. And then in the middle again we've got a crooked man. I remember hearing that when I was little. So yeah, those are our signatures into our cover, and we should be very proud of ourselves. I hope that was useful to someone. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.